That judge's decision is essentially in line with what Camp Mystic wanted to do anyway. The Department of State Health Services will make the final decision on whether the camp can renew their license. That deadline is coming up in just a few days, and as of right now, Camp Mystic has not reapplied. Camp Mystic Cypress Lake was originally marketed as a sister camp when it opened in 2020. But after devastating floods and the loss of 27 girls at the Guadalupe River location, leaders are stressing the difference and distance even more. The Camp Mystic website calling Cypress Lake completely different on a completely different body of water.
We are going to follow all the government guidelines and the legislation, but also do some things above and beyond.
So this is our RS-1A flood tower.
When the ITEAM spoke with Britt Eastland back in January, he showed us the new flood warning system installed at Cypress Lake. State Representative Wes Verdell, who represents the Kerr County area, wants to make it clear.
The cabins that were used by Camp Mystic when the flood came, that unprecedented flood, those cabins are not going to be utilized for this summer.
Before any camp can renew its license, the state must inspect the property and confirm it meets requirements. This year, there's a new set of standards because of a new camp safety law. Emergency evacuation plans are a long-time requirement, but according to a new lawsuit, they weren't always enforced at Camp Mystic.
Their actual policy was, as long as there is any emergency plan, no matter what it says, we will approve it. And we will say that camp can be licensed, regardless of whether it has an evacuation plan or not.
During the July 4th flood, Camp Mystic's written guidance was to shelter in place. These documents were recovered from the cabins.
They approved that plan and licensed the camp even though it violated state law.
The families want the state held accountable for granting and renewing that license. We've reviewed years of inspection reports for the site, all with an X signing off on emergency plans. The Department of State Health Services tells me both locations operate under one license, but only Cypress Lake will be inspected and factored into licensing since it's the only one reopening.
We are fortunate to open Camp Mystic, that people will see all the goodness and all the healing that might happen if these girls come back.
More than 225 emails have been sent to DSHS, plus a letter from Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick urging the state not to renew the license. Is it the license that the families are more concerned with, or is it the ownership group?
They're very concerned about that same family, that same leadership operating a camp this summer.
Verdell says the Eastland family has made significant improvements and are following the new law.
They're able to meet all the requirements of that bill, and so I think because they ended up being able to do that, now they're being targeted through another route to try to punish them.
But for families who lost children, Shapey says they want to see more proof, starting with this section on the camp's website. It says emergency plans are under review.
This many months after this tragedy that took 27 young lives, they still don't have a new plan. That is very concerning to the families and should be concerning to anybody that's considering sending their daughters to the camp.
Camp Mystic attorneys tell me there are about 900 girls signed up for a summer session at their Cypress Lake location, meaning they are going to push forward for that renewed license. They tell me they are committed to making it a safe experience for all of them. I'm Jordan Elder for the News 4 ITEAM.